Hey YouTube, Freedom for Kaz here, and I'm going to be continuing my survival series today. Today's video is on fire. Now I'm going to be going over the basics from matches all the way to more intense ways to make fire. The first thing I want to start out with is matches. Obviously matches are a basic necessity for your pack. They aren't the best way to start a fire, but matches do work. There's many types of matches that you can get. That was a basic pack of matches. You can get camping matches. You can get waterproof matches. You can also get government issue matches at your local surplus store. They're also waterproof as well. The next thing I want to talk about is lighters. Lighters are a good way to make a fire. This is a traditional lighter with a flint and fuel. This is an electronic lighter, which I prefer better. And the reason why I prefer the electronic lighter is because with this lighter here, you simply flick it and it lights. Okay? The problem is that with this fuel switch here, if you have your bug out bag packed tightly, and I'm sure that you will, you may incidentally push down on this fuel lever. And when you go to grab your lighter, it's going to be out of fuel. Now, the reason why I recommend the electronic lighter is you can push this down, okay, and you can hear there's no fuel coming out of there, all right? So this takes a little bit of effort to get it to light. So when you do that, it works a little bit better, be better packing in your pack, in your bug out bag. That way you don't have to worry about the fuel escaping. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is a magnesium block or a striker stick or whatever you want to call it. It's very simple. You know, this is a very good tool. You scrape the magnesium into a pile, and then you take it and you strike it. Sometimes it sparks, sometimes it doesn't. You know, it's kind of iffy. I prefer some other things as opposed to this, but if this is all you got, it will work. Now I want to talk specifically about this part right here. Okay, if you guys haven't figured out what this is actually part of a hacksaw blade. Alright, now I went ahead and I made two of my own. If you have a hacksaw blade, you automatically have two because there's a hole in each end of the hacksaw. And these are actually a little bit longer than what this one is. It's about a ½ inch longer. And all you got to do is just grind down the blade here. Okay. And the reason why I kept the edge here is because when you use a magnesium block, a lot of people say, use your knife, your pocket knife, or your buck knife, or whatever. Well, if you keep those ridges on there, you can take that magnesium block and you can really, really quickly make a nice pile on that, and then just turn it over. Use the opposite end, and then use the striker on there. You can use this striker, use any striker, and bam, there you go. You know, it's about half the time on getting the magnesium off of your block with using your knife. This cuts the time down in half. Now, you know, if you've got some extra bandsaw or hacksaw blades laying around, you know, these will work. You know, it works fine. And that's exactly what this is. If you haven't figured it out, that's what it is. So, you know, you can have some extra striking tools you can add to your pack. Now I want to move on to some homemade fire starters. And the first place I want to start is I got a bag here. Now what this is filled with dryer lint and some old socks, some stinky old socks. And no, the stinky old socks isn't the fuel, okay? Basically what you're going to do is you're going to take a sock and you're going to cut the sock into like 1-inch strips, okay? You'll cut it down, then you'll just cut it'll be like a circle, so you just cut it so it's a strip, alright? And you got about, I put about 10 strips in here, along with some dryer lint. But also besides that, because dryer lint is very ignitable. And the reason why that is because if you know anything about clothing, natural fibers, cotton, burns very, very well. Now, I also bought some lighter fluid. Now, this isn't the barbecue kind, okay? This is for your cigarette lighter. Now, this is for the old-fashioned style lighters where you have the flip up top, and if you're cool enough you can hit it on your leg and light it all at the same time if you were cool enough. But you know, I don't know, I did that a few times. But my point is that you can do that. And look how thin that is. And again, for your bug out bag, I stress thinness. You can really compress this down Okay, and don't worry about the lighter fluid evaporating, because it's not going to evaporate. The same theory is with the cigarette lighter. It's the same thing. You know, as you use the fluid, it's going to absorb into the cotton product that's in there. It's going to absorb into the lint. And I use this a lot when I go rustic camping. You know, I try to stay away from my more important things. I save those for absolutely last. But when you burn the lighter fluid, it burns clean. There's no gray smoke or black smoke or anything like that you have to worry about. It burns clean. And again, put it in a Ziploc bag, and you know what? It's thin and it's out of the way. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Vaseline cotton balls. Now, everybody knows about Vaseline cotton balls. Okay, just melt the Vaseline, put it in there. There's about 100 Vaseline cotton balls in this bag here. And again, I stress thinness. Okay, look how thin that is. That's not very thick at all. It's a good package in there. And what I try to do is when I make my cotton balls, what I found was I went to the Salvation Army, and you can get a lot of inexpensive items at the Salvation Army to help you either build your pack or help you use a tool to build your pack. Now, very simply, this is a potpourri burner. I don't know if you remember these from like 10 years ago. These things were like huge. Everybody had a potpourri burner in their house, and I don't know how important they are anymore. They're not important to me anyway, but I take that, I take a votive candle, and all I do is I simply put it underneath here. I light it, and for each cotton ball, I use about a half a teaspoon maximum. Half a teaspoon maximum of Vaseline. And the reason why I do it one at a time is I can control the amount of fuel I'm putting in each cotton ball, and that is what is critical. I test burned one of these, and it burned for about 2 minutes, and then it went out. So, again, a half a teaspoon, not more than a half a teaspoon per cotton ball. Now, the next thing that I want to touch on is a government product that's called Trioxine. Now, Trioxine is compressed Trioxine. It's for ration heating. And I'm going to hold it right up to the camera for you. There you go. Okay. You can get these at your surplus store. I get these at Joe's Army Navy. I get these at knife and gun shows. These things are very, very important. And I'll tell you why. There's a multitude of uses, and when you pull it out, it looks like a condom. Yep, that's what I said. Condom. Great for protection, but not for fire. And what this looks like on the inside, it looks like a blue urinal disc. Okay? Now, I'm not going to open this one, but it is blue, and it's an alcohol-based fuel disc. And these burn at about anywhere from 600 to 800 degrees for 2 minutes. All right, now there's many uses, and what I recommend is you saw how that was a square, okay? Now I have 10 in this baggie, all right? Now what I simply did was I took the Trioxine, and I just simply folded the corners in, okay? And look how compact that is. Now you go from having 3 in this box to having 10 in a Ziploc bag, okay? Now the trick is this. This is called a Trioxine stove, all right? And inside here, see there's a bottom in here? All right, you take that disc out and you put it in this stove. All right, now as I've gone over food and MREs and things like that, okay, I've got my beef stew pack. I can fill my cup with water, put water in here, and set it right on this stove, light my Trioxine. It'll burn for 2 minutes. It'll warm up my food. If it's not warm enough, I can use another Trioxine, and it'll be especially warm. Now, you can use Trioxine for warming food, or you can use it as a starter fuel for making a big fire. Again, you can use 1 or you can use 2. Here are some great fire ideas I just want to pass along to everybody. You know, just trying to help everybody out with their Bob. I hope that these helped you out, especially the Trioxine. I strongly suggest getting the Trioxine. It's a great product, and it burns really well. Everybody have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.